gonna come back with the rest of the show in 2 days, and then we'll be right back on track.
I lied.
And we welcome you to Thursday Night Superstars. And yep, it's been a minute since we started a video with Superstars, hasn't it? If you didn't watch the last episode, this is because the game crashed a lot. So I cleared literally every possible cache to see if that was the problem. And we're just gonna hope that it works today. And then you have Jimmy, Superfly, Snuka. This man rarely ever appears. In fact, if I go and look at the sheet, Jimmy Snuka has only appeared twice, both in losing effort. So he has a lot to prove tonight. And then there's his opponent, Terry Funk. Last week he failed at being extreme. I wonder how he'll do this week. Oh, a double elbow drop hit. And now going after Jimmy Snuka because that's the important one. Knee. Everyone's going down to Terry Funk. And then knee out. What the hell? And he's out the ring. And Terry Funk went up to the top rope, hit a double axe handle on Mike Knox. I was half expecting to hit that double axe handle on Jimmy Snuka or something else on Jimmy, but apparently not. And now they're just fighting each other. Oh, that's an arm. What? This game's been acting weird. And now Terry Funk's smacking Mike Knox on the announce table. Taking him off, kneeing. How did that end up with the consequences going to... What the fuck? Okay. 1 punch, 2 punch, 3 punch, 4 punch. And now Terry Funk getting the hit us with the ultra impressive pile driver. Gotta wait, but... he was ready for it. He even did a rope break just to bait him back in the ring. Not sure if I would consider that a smart strategy, but I mean, hey, if Mike Knox is just gonna wait it out anyways, why not? A double axe. Terry Funk. The cockiness of Terry Funk is on display, and Jimmy Snuka picking up, and Terry's gonna take this time to power himself up as he immediately goes after... what the fuck? That wasn't what he wanted. Right on the ropes. Terry now outside the ring for having the goal to attack. Wait a minute. That could be a win for Jimmy Snuka. It is. Jimmy Snuka beats Mike Knox. Jimmy Snuka has finally won against Mike Knox. And I guess Terry Funk too. Mike Knox and Terry Funk are now enemies. I could only assume why. Why did Drew go back to normal? Why did that move Jackson up? A lot of weird happenings on these last few episodes. Anyways, skipping time. It was literally just an attacking cutscene. I'm being dead ass. Like, I want to like you three, but it's just the three of you. I think if it wasn't the Bella twins, no, because it would still be this same dynamic. I shouldn't complain about it. I said I would fix it after bragging rights. Let's just get there. And then, in our main event of Superstars, for the first time since Night of Champion, Randy Orton is back on Superstars? What? No, wait, who's his opponent? Oh, it's CM Punk. And then, of course, CM Punk. This man doesn't like Superstars, but I think Punk saw that it was Orton and said, hey, this should have been on Raw. Let's prove that we should be on Raw. That's good. That sounds good to me. I like the competition in Punk. I know there are some good traits buried within that anti-alcohol cynic. I know they're in there. You just gotta brush past the fucking elitism. And Tyson Kidd is what the fuck? Oh, Straight Edge Heart Foundation. It seems that Tyson's here to watch Punk lose against Orton. I mean, this makes sense. The Straight Edge Society fucked over the Heart Foundation more times than I think Tyson can count at this point. And the fans are divided between CM Punk and Randy Orton. And I am kinda too. Both men winning this match would be awesome. Not to invoke The Miz. Orton now using CM Punk's mistakes against him. Orton is a veteran. He's been in this business for almost a decade now. And he is going to make you slip up one way or another. But Punk is also good at wrestling. I'm apparently gonna have to try and steal the pedigree. This ain't Orton Edge. You can't fucking steal the pedigree and get away with it. Who the hell did that in the quote greatest wrestling match ever? That was such a shitty gimmick to apply that to two non-amateur wrestlers, by the way. I would have understand that if it was like Kurt Angle and like another wrestler, but like really? And Orton now stomp to the arm, stomp to the leg, stomp to the other leg, stomp to the other arm, and a stomp directly on the head. And now just rhyming that Punk get up and get hit with an RKO. That is it. Punk is out of this. 1, 2, and 3. Randy Orton beats CM Punk. That didn't move Orton up at all. What the fuck ever? Kiss my ass. Anyways, it's SmackDown. Yeah! And we welcome you to Friday Night SmackDown Live in Cleveland, Ohio. If only The Miz were on SmackDown. And Santino Marella is disheartened by the news that the Puerto Rican Pridefuls have split up. He now says he doesn't really know what's next for Santino. Not after his relationship with Beth has fallen apart, and after that, Santino doesn't have much to look forward to. But tonight, he's got to put that all aside as he faces JTG in a Falls Count Anywhere match. And JTG, about the only person. Yeah, that's right. He's the only person ever. I'm sorry to everyone in this crowd. You don't exist. Can JTG do springboards? That's probably the worst move that could have been done from a failed springboard attempt. Oh, no. I thought he might. He's small enough to do it. Or maybe he's a little bit more of a moderate size. I don't know. But JTG and Santino are not too uncommon of a match type, actually. It is not uncommon to see these two fight, but not on SmackDown. Really, that is a winder. I can't call it a whisper in the wind because I have figured out that it's not. I haven't looked at the whisper in the wind in a while. You do it from the second rope. This? Do you do that for the top rope? I don't think it counts. I could just look at it in the move list. And JTG, snapmare, doing that and a nice... Isn't that also just a snapmare to an extent? And wait a minute, that's a... nice thing. I don't know what the fuck it is. The point is that Falls Count Anywhere did not affect this match. It's just no match. Why do we have Falls Count Anywhere on some of these matches, man? That's the second time this has happened in a month. And JTG wins. And JTG even goes to offer a handshake to Santino, but no. Kozlov really did change him for the worse. I've never seen Santino be more bitter. Then again, he has no prospects. That made JTG go with the big show. Dude, how the fuck are you gonna let that happen? You're world champion, you can't be JTG. Anyways, it's Maurice versus Natalya. And we welcome you back to Friday Night SmackDown, and it's Natalya. That's right, it's a #1 contenders match for the Women's Championship. It almost feels like they were forgotten about.
As a fork narrative shadowing device.
Beth Phoenix and Maurice are still high and mighty. Maurice really wants a shot at that women's title, and damn it, I think she can have it given to her. Natalya is a great women's superstar, but how well will she do against someone that would attack her at every angle? And then you have Maurice. Maurice is someone that has attacked people on almost every opportunity, from Fox to Beth to even now Natalya. What the fuck happened to the lower half of her attire? Maurice picking up Natalya, trying to turn it into a DDT, but no. Natalya isn't gonna go down that easily. Come on. And another DDT attempt by Maurice, but Natalya says no again. And it seems that Maurice is gonna have to win this match the good old-fashioned way. But Maurice is apparently willing to do that. I think all good tacticians, Maurice is not one of them, but they all have a good plan B. And Maurice seems really determined to keep Natalya down and out of her hair. Is her strength misplaced? I mean, it's a what the fuck? I didn't realize Maurice would do that. It's a roll-up by Maurice. 1, 2. Did the ref stop counting halfway through that so Natalya could kick out?
It's a conspiracy.
And Maurice rolls to the outside of the ring, gives Natalya time to heal her wounds, but time can only fix so many of the wounds that Maurice is giving her in this match. And she looks worse for bloody wear. I mean, I would if I've taken now 3 elbow drops throughout this entire fucking match with no repercussions for Maurice. I mean, it's just not viable, not plausible, not any of the above. And now Maurice with a massive kick to the back of the head of Natalya. Come on, all you gotta do is hit the 1 DDT. Yes! Why am I saying yes? What the fuck? Do I want this now? Do I want Maurice to be Natalya? I guess I just want Beth to beat the shit out of her? Yes, that's exactly what I want. Maurice defeats Natalya. I'm gonna assume that the attack helped a lot here and not question it too much. It made Maurice and Natalya enemies, fucking obviously, and that made Eve go above Natalya. Ew. Anyways, up next, it's finally fuck's sake. And up next on SmackDown, the Straight Edge Society is actually on SmackDown in a tag team match that isn't against the Hart Foundation. They've never had a tag match on SmackDown. All of their appearances have been on Raw, and the vast majority of them have been against the Hart Foundation. In fact, looking at the logs, they had one match against Jericho that made Jericho break up, and then it was all Hart Foundation. This is the first unique match for the Hart Foundation since the first month. And who better for it to be against than everybody's golden tag team, Airborne. Evan Bourne is out first and blue. I can't wait for Kofi's contract to be up at the end of the month. Maybe I'm theorizing it. I don't actually know. It's gonna be so good to see these two wearing matching blue gear. You will not believe it. And then, of course, you have Kofi. Germany. I feel like every time that Kofi comes out, I mention German sponsorship. I mention nothing else about him. Not the high-flying offense, not the tag team with Evan. Nope, it's just, hey, this guy got sponsored by the German government. Laugh at him. That's a funny gimmick, ain't it? Germany! Oh, wait a minute. Airborne having some difficulties. Evan wants in first. Kofi doesn't want... Are we really trying to do an Airborne split angle when there's fucking 5 tag teams? Are you fucking serious? Fuck you. And Evan Bourne rolls down and attacks Luke Gallows. And then why not for good measure just never mind. Okay, Punk was too far away, but he had the idea. And you know what? It was pretty fucking good. Evan usually tags in first in these matches. Kofi thought he would do it better by himself, apparently. I don't know why these two are actually getting hot-headed at each other now when they're finally fighting in a tag team. It kind of seems forced in my humble opinion, but maybe that's just because I want these two to succeed. I don't know. It could be the case. Oh, okay. Oh, there he goes. And wait, a moonsault to Gallows. What did Gallows do to Bourne? Oh, but that let him attack Kofi. But Evan is going to use this time to hit a corkscrew moonsault, and that leads into his signature shooting star moonsault. Hitting Gallows off the apron. Thank you. Shooting star press. Hit him off the apron again. Again. And how about we just pin him? It's a rope break. So and now Kofi gets tagged in. What? Okay, but Kofi is not gonna let Gallows get tagged. Thank you, fucking Jesus McKelly. Oh my god, that took 6 years. Why did it take so long for me to get one successful knock off the apron? And now Kofi Kingston, wait, it's time for the boom drop. Wait a minute. Yes, so let's try not to. Evan gets the successful knock off the apron, and Kofi beats Punk and Gallows. Gallows didn't even get tagged in once. That's all on Punk. These two, despite not liking each other at the beginning of this match, put their differences aside to beat the duo of CM Punk. Evan and Kofi are allies again. I think we had this exact thing pop up like 2 weeks ago. It also put Jackson above Kofi, I guess, since the cutscene of them being bad at tagging made the... What? And we welcome you to the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. And Chris Jericho and Taker are gonna go... I forgot to do the fucking thing. Jericho and Taker are going one-on-one one more time before Hell in a Cell. Jericho and Taker last week provided no definitive winner, but Taker won't let that be definitive either, as he attacks Jericho before the bell. I mean, last week they had a back and forth match, but at the end, Jericho hit Taker with a bell, and that caused the match to be completely thrown out as a DQ win for Taker. So tonight, it appears that Taker looked to get revenge against Jericho, but it seems that Jericho is going to have yet another dominant performance against Jericho here tonight. Jericho isn't going to dominate himself, although if this was his world, he'd probably dominate himself. What the fuck does that even mean? But yeah, Jericho would take down himself to make himself look better if given the chance. I think this analogy becomes more and more confusing the more I talk about it. Wait a minute, that's a choke slam straight to Chris Jericho! And it might be the beginning of that Big Show! What the fuck? Wait a minute, he's trying to pick him up doing the tombstone pile driver. But no. And now he elbows him, and with every elbow comes a leg drop. The ref is telling Big Show to get out of the ring, throwing him away. But Taker just won't let him leave, harvesting every molecule of Big Show for everything that he's worth. And he wants answers. And damn it, if Taker isn't gonna give him those answers, but an elbow. Wait a minute. This could potentially be a soft sentence for Big Show, but no. Every excuse. Wait, on the concrete? On the concrete floor! And now finally trying to hit Jericho with something lasting, but no, the last ride does not hit. Pedigree by Jericho? What the hell? But no. But taking that momentum and turning it into the world-famous Tombstone Pile Driver. And Big Show is nowhere to be found as Taker beats Jericho. That is it for this episode of the Ultimate Universe Mode. Damn, what a three-way that I will have to do again. And wait, Taker beat Jericho, but it seems that Taker's not done. And he stomps on Jericho, attacking him when he came in, attacking him after he left. What a bad end for this episode of SmackDown. And he's gonna have to fight Big Show in 2 days, and that's it.